Okay. Now, do you hear me?
Yeah, perfect.
And you can see the slides?
It's all loud and clear.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. I'm happy because this is the first time that I'm participating like that. Okay, well, let's start if if everybody agrees. So today I'm very thankful with ITLA to allow me to present this work that I already presented in the conference in Melbourne, and that I call Playing Solidarity. And as a subtitle, I used Toy Libraries Empowering International Communities, because this is what it is. It's the result of a collaboration with different countries, mainly based in a project developed in 2020 with Mexico and Argentina. So for those that doesn't know me, I'm Israel, or Yael as my new French name. And I'm working in Terludic. I live in Marseille, and I became a librarian inspired by you in South Africa. So I'm gonna tell you what is what we want to transmit you today. So everybody knows about all these benefits of playing. In the first image, what I wanted to transmit you is that there are a lot of different things that why we use games, by learning, for example. We also use it for include people to meet new people, to create some kind of good environment, and also we can use it for development of children. And so about that, we don't have too much to add to that, because all toy librarians note that those benefits. But what I with all those benefits in mind, what we wanted to do, it's like to try to give you some ideas, to collaborate with you. And that's something that I felt that we were we wanted to do, that we needed to do, because there was a lot of good how do you say, a good collaborations, but we didn't felt like Europe was doing more than what we felt we could do. So Terledic has was born in 2010, and we have different activities that are based on social, cultural, and non-formal education. And we have three different well, we developed the three aspects of toy libraries, which are a toy library that we call the Marseille Home of Toys and Games, and we call M2G2 by its name in French. We have a mobile toy library that we call World Game Trucks, or World Game Planes, or Olympic Game Trucks. We use all that to give you an idea that games are everywhere and are worldwide. So we use those acronyms to name the mobile toy library. But we also wanted to develop this idea of toy libraries are a source of knowledge. It's like going to a library or going to a place where you can read a book and simply getting information and use that to benefit all the community. So that's why we think that games are important in the social, cultural, and context. With that in mind, we've developed different activities based obviously in non-formal education and social and inclusion aspects and culture. And finally, the new dimension that we wanted to bring to you, it was solidarity, that it's equal to citizenship, or it's equal to sustainable development. And that's why we contact Monica in Mexico, also Gabriela in Mexico. I'm gonna talk more about that or those details later. And in Argentina, we contact Virginia. We wanted also to discuss about some different aspects of the objectives of sustainable development, like good health and well-being, that was very important for us in the context of pandemics. We wanted to give something also about quality education, gender equality, and all these development objectives that are highlighted here, but obviously also talk about what games and what toy libraries can do for children. So what we will discuss with all this information is the origin of our solidarity policy and projects, the projects that we develop in Mexico and Argentina, some that we develop in Spain, in Colombia, and obviously here in France with a public that lives in low-income areas, and some other projects that we have in mind. Donc, so the context was that at that time that the borders were closed, and that people and young people mostly were giving us some ideas that they were having problems for finding a job, for finding leisure activities or recreation activities, and also for traveling. Also, we live a moment very complex in all the world, but I think that it was more that has a biggest impact in Americas. We wanted to help our friends because there were a lot of loss of jobs. We have a lot of episodes of depression and stress, and we wanted to do something about that. So we said we have youth, we have games and play that are very advantageous for all these reasons that I discussed above. And we have all these wonderful people in the world that are you. And I have this image here from the 14th ITLA Congress. Those were the elements or in the ingredients to create a recipe. The recipe was simply this one that was like discovering games. And for that, we collect information of what people understand, like the ludic background, what they had in mind about board games, because we were very focused on board games, but it was all kind of expressions of games. Then we work on representations and practice and values. So mostly in the first project and all the projects that we develop, we discuss with people by playing. We want to know what they do and what they think that they can practice, their background, their values. And then we valorize all the skills of everyone, and we say, well, what do you know? Do you know how to draw? Do you know how to teach rules? And simply, how to tell stories? So let's try to do something around that. And also we wanted to help people to acquire new skills, and with all that, to develop activities that were focused on the leisure activities in memories that they had when they were a child, or memories that they just had before COVID. And we also create some learning tools and games, and they also create those ones. So there were always like a feedback between what they wanted to show, what they wanted to use, and what we could give them to them. So then we create together, and we develop different things like board games or like ebooks that I will present you later. And after we evaluate the impact. So at that time in Mexico and Argentina, we just stopped by creating things, and we evaluate more or less the impact with them, because that was a hard time, but I have some results that I want to share with you. So as I said, with Mexico and Argentina, the idea was to create a collaborative project without traveling, and that can help as many people as possible, and which highlight the benefits of playing. The result of this was that Jugotecas Barriales in Argentina, Mexico Juega in Mexico City, and Escondite del Ringo, that is a toy library in a hospital, we created different groups. Mexico was like so amazing by this call to participation, and a lot of people answered to this call of participation, but also in Juegotecas Barriales. So we give them this freedom. We proposed 3 different projects that were our original idea, but they developed what they wanted to do. They were as free as they felt to work. And what we have, this is like, I will just discuss fast these results, is that people were from different origins, and they were from different countries. They didn't identify really with a country, because some people lived in Europe, but they were from Ecuador, or they were from Morocco, they were from different countries. So they just answered other countries. And 26% were people was from France. From Mexico, they were mostly from there. And after we have more people, well, the distribution between ages was more was really equilibrated, and we have people from 19 to 45 years old that were participating in the project. 93% of the participants were satisfied with the process because they learn a new language. We have some course of French, and they met new people and cultures. I remember that most of the groups were like so mixed. So we had people from France, we have people from Mexico and from Argentina in each group. So because we had 3 groups, and in the 3 groups, there were always people that belonged to one or another country. 96% of people felt supported by their toy libraries. It was very curious, because even if we were working online, all these people said always that, okay, Monica helped me, Monica heard me, Monica gave me some advices, Virginia Guardia also gave me a lot of advices, and we were always in a relationship, but always like giving them this freedom of working while they have some time. And 85% of people find a new way to engage. This is very important for us, because we were not sure at the beginning that all this collaboration could be possible. And just by doing this call to participation, most of people felt like they had this opportunity, they had this capacity, and they wanted to do something. 63% of participants declared this as their first international experience, which was also very satisfying for us. And what they created is mostly available in the website of Torodic, but also in the website of Mexico Juega. Maybe Monica can after show us what they do. And these are most of the publications, the Instagram publications that we made at that time. So they were 3 ebooks. One that was discussing about an escape room, another one that was about traditional games, and another one that was more like a history of all these games that they played when they were child and that they wanted to share with the world. And recently, because this is a work that was made by several years. We have the second edition that it's available in English. So because it was just in Spanish and in French, it was so complicated to read it to some people, but now we have a version in English that I want to show you before speaking about Spain. I'm gonna try to show you the books. Sorry, I need to find the books. Okay. Yeah, I think they are here. So for give you an idea of what we made, it's I'm show you here. I don't know if you can see it, but I think that you can see the book that it's here, which is the first one that it was the escape game. And in the escape game, we have they called the young people called it the Enigma Club. So this starts with all the content, obviously, but also about the history of people that participate, the instructions, and an unexpected letter that was written by them. And I was like I want you to read that, even if you can download it from all the sites of the websites from Terludic or from Mexico Juega or the one from Argentina. So they started like doing, this morning I went to open the mailbox, and what a surprise. Among all the usual letters, I found a strange envelope. It was a letter that seemed to be addressed to me. The sender was even a stranger, the Enigma Club. I was intrigued by this letter and took it inside the house. And then they start to read this like being curious. Since then, I've been sitting on the couch, the letter on the table. I look at it curiously. It intrigues me. It spins around my head. It take it and open it. We welcome you to the Enigma Club. Thank you very much for your registration. So that's what you're gonna read all the long of the book, and they start like doing a travel. So if you remember well, I said we will start like doing a trip, and we arrive to the first city that we have to visit, which is Marseille. So if you can go to Google and put viewport Marseille, you will find this kind of photos. This photo was taken by Olivier, that was one of the participants of the project, and he discussed with the other younger, and he said, well, what do you think if I can if I delete this one and I put this image? So you have to recognize the differences between these two images that we have here. So if you see clearly, for example, maybe someone can help me, like telling me one difference that you find between this image and the second one. Does anybody want to participate?
The green roof to the right, and one of the, I don't know what looks like a tent or something. It's green on the bottom and blue on the top.
Yeah, that's right, Annelies. Someone else?
There is
There's
a pigeon
building missing.
on the left-hand side near the lady with the bag, and up but not down.
Yeah. Thank you, Dominique.
Just below,
You're welcome,
just
my
below
dear.
the church, there is a building missing.
Sorry, where? Ah, yeah,
Hmm?
yeah, of course.
Below the
So
church,
sorry.
there's a big
Yeah.
building that has gone.
Yeah, of course. So as you can see, this is like easy for us, but for some other people it was like kind of more difficult. So you can always after this enigma that we invite people not to find all the solutions, because there's also a part where you can find the solutions, and if you find all the 7 solutions, normally there are 7 differences, they can pass to the next enigma, and now you have a short history here, and after you can continue with that. So it was interesting for us because we could share it with everybody and to have fun at home, while in Mexico and Argentina, for example, they were always in this situation that was really complicated, while in France we started to work again. The second book, it's this one, that we call it traditional games, and it was very interesting because the people that participate here included me, because I just participate with them and I was like so happy with what they do, is to say, well, marbles, I think that it's a traditional game that it's from Argentina, and when we discussed, we said, oh, but marbles, I also played it in Morocco, and also I played it in France. So they find that this was like more than just a game that was played in a city. It was something that was connecting people around the world, and that has different names, different rules, and that was a real cultural element for them. So I'm just show you here some of the information that it's done by them. This second edition was translated by us, but the original job was done by all these wonderful people. The third one, that is this one, and this is something that doesn't expected at all, that was really new for us. It was like sharing all these feelings that they had, because they were in these situations where they could not go out to the street, they could not play, they could not do nothing, and they just had to stay at home. But they wanted to recover all this idea of playing at home. So what we can observe here, it's a mother and a child that are looking at the street, and after they wonder about different things. For example, now the phrase is, now what do we do? Do we go where do we go when we can only stay at home? Sorry for the pronunciation. And they imagine an environment and something really good. And I think that most of you are like made a little house with all this like this in home. And what they found is that everybody goes there and they think about other things. Have you ever imagined taking a journey to your interior? What would you bring there? So they ask people to participate, like, okay, what would you bring there to this interior, to this home? And the idea was to make people participate about these things. I don't know if someone want to share what you live during the COVID, and if you play something like that, or if you imagine a game while we were in a lockdown.
Hi, it's Tandy from South Africa. So during lockdown, me and my family, we used to play puzzles.
Yeah. That was something that you did when you were a child?
No, when I was a child, I didn't go to any kindergarten or ECD. So I started to play puzzles when I became an ECD practitioner. It's where I learned about puzzles.
Okay. Anyone else? well, don't be shy. But what you can observe here is, for example, this child that were like in another environment, and this person imagine things. They imagine this little people here, that it's something fantastic, that is playing marbles or some different toys, and just like creating a new home, a new place to be, and to be comfortable, and to be in a better health, in a moment more connected with ourselves. So well, this were the work that we made with these countries. And now if I come back, I hope that I can come back like that. Yeah, to cooperation with another countries. We have, for example, with Spain, we decided to discuss with children from Spain and children from France, and to discuss what they think about toys, what they can do in toy libraries, and to find something that was similar in both countries. But because even if we were playing, we were wondering, how deep do they play? What do they do? Do they go to toy libraries? Toy libraries are the same. So we decided to make some videos and to share with children here and children then. So there, and we translate the videos. Some of children in Spain were learning French. So it was like so exciting for them to discuss with someone in Marseille that speak French, and they heard these videos and they said, yeah, I understood bonjour, or we have, or there were people here that say hola amigo, ¿cómo estás? And they were like sharing in Spanish and French, and they also sent letters, and they were happy, like discussing of things they were doing there. And for our children, this was the first international experience. They are around 10 and 12 years old, so it was like really unexpected for them. They learn different things, like, for example, that they had the right to play, something that sometimes we say, okay, we have the right to play, children have the right to play, but for them it's not like as obvious as it was for us. So they wrote, for example, their first time a letter, and then send it to another country. That was something, for example, that I never done in Mexico when I live in Mexico, and then I made for my first time in France. So I was like so happy, because I felt that I live again this first experience that I made when I came to Europe. And they recorded their first video, and with this idea, we play different board games with them, and for working communication, patience, and to say, yeah, I'm here, I have the right to play, and to work in teams. Parents remark a positive change in their behavior, and I think that in one hand, it's this experience that they made by sharing, by writing a letter, but also this experience of knowing that there were children in another part of the world playing with something that was different. One of the difficult thing in Spain with the toy library we work is that they don't have too many toys and too many board games. So it was like very interesting of they were supporting each other. And for example, at GM, we have different children that express their curiosity about their commitment to their peers. For example, we have these images here that are the letters that they wrote one to the others, and those are children here in France that were watching the videos from Spain. And for example, those are the videos that children in Tenerife made for people here. I don't know if you heard the what they say, but they invite people to play like them. They invite people to come to the toy libraries. The next one is another video which in which they propose to other people to participate in a crowdfunding campaign to buy toys and to send them to Tenerife. Maybe could you tell me if you hear their voices? Do you hear or not?
No, let me try and see if I can change any of it might be I think it's one of your sharing options that you've got to adjust.
Okay. It's kind of complicated here. Because I don't have all this. Sorry.
Israel, tienes que salirte y cuando vuelvas a compartir, pones que quieres compartir con sonido.
Okay. Perfect. So share. Okay, yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, you see, okay, yeah. If we hear, I'm gonna show you again the video with children in Tenerife.
That's good.
Well, that was the previous video. I hope you heard, but they invite people like saying, we have the right to play. Something that was not as easy to understand from them because they didn't know that they had this right, because UNICEF says that, and that we have to defend this right. In the next video, they invite our public, our members, to this crowdfunding campaign.
On vous invite à donner des jeux et des jouets à nos amis espagnols. Merci de votre aide.
So those are things that Deutsch libraries can do. We don't have to forget that these are the things that we can do with children by playing and by saying, yeah, you have the right, as everybody has this right. I'm gonna just discuss fast about what we made in Colombia. Colombia, it was a collaboration that was done with university. They needed to discuss with children and to understand, for example, how they can fight against some illness. And also because most of these people they have cancer. So they wanted to discuss about health and how they can improve their behaviors to avoid infections. So what we made with them, it was to discuss about what they understand. So what they don't understand about cancer, what are the illness that they can suffer and how they can avoid it. So we discuss with them, we try to understand which were the age they have, and we try to discuss with them about what they know to develop this process of learning, but not just by teaching, also by learning from them what they understand as a fungus, what they understand like good health. And after, we develop a game that we have here, that it's called God the Monster. So what they have to do is to find a situation where they have this risk of getting an illness, and that they have to avoid by doing something good. For example, if I want to go to a home that it's not anymore visited, that it's in a bad condition, I can go, but I have to clean my hands. If I have an accident, for example, with in my home, I have to clean my hands, and I have to maybe get a vaccine or something like that. So they identified all these situations. We create this game with them, and after they were playing this game, and we try to understand if by doing a game in which we teach them and they teach us how to have a good health, or how to have good practices and habits, we could improve our health. And this project is always in collaboration with this university, and we are evaluating the results. But now what we know is that by just discussing with them and doing this game, children participate more, and they were like senders of information. We facilitate the process, and we reduce inequalities in health and strengthen the creativity and communicative capacities of all participants. And when I say all participants, it's PhD, it's also students, it's also children. And I'm gonna just finish by showing you something that we do in France, because we wanted to emphasize the power of play and games to acquire culture, values, and share them around the world. So we made different projects in which we made participate some it's the same here I have the same receipt that I said, but it's the same methodology that we apply to children. And for example, here we discuss with children, they create board games and they share what they think is the culture in Marseille. So for example, they produce what we call the Loterie Marseillaise, that it's equal to bingo or to the Loteria Mexicana, which is a kind of bingo. And in Mexico, what people do is to show what they think they are symbols or elements important from their country. For example, there's like an image where we say the flag, and it's the flag of Mexico. Here we said things like le pastis. Le pastis, it's a beverage, it's alcohol, but it was like things that were perceived as proper from their culture, and they wanted to share to the world. This is another project in which, for example, they created new games. They visit all the countries, and by knowing the games. For example, this one is the Puluk, which is a game from Guatemala, and they create this game. And what it was important for us, it's that they discovered different games. They knew Uno, or they knew Monopoly, but they didn't know really other games. So we teach them some games, they learn new games, they create these games with a Fab Lab that it's that we create in Terludic, and they made these beautiful games with our machines that are printing, 3D printing or laser cutting, and they created, and they made one for them, one from their non-profit organization, and one from Mexico. This one that is holding my colleague, that it's called Kevin, it goes to Mexico, to one of the toy libraries that they choose. And what was more important for us is that they were more able to practice gratitude, humility, kindness, altruism, and generosity. And finally, this one is a new project that was supported by the French Minister of Foreign Affairs, and also by the Association de Ludothèque Française. which is the ITLA in France, and it's called the pink construction site. And what we made here is to create an environment of play where children can play without these barriers of gender or stereotypes. And what we can observe is that girls can play something that is more perceived for boys, and boys are like happy playing something that it's pink, and it doesn't, and they don't have this idea of barriers of stereotypes. So this is all these projects that we developed in 3 years. We started with Mexico with this great experience with Argentina, and they were so helpful with us. I think that we also were a good partners, and that we just may take this information and we transform it to work with another countries like Spain and Colombia, but also here in France, to say to people, we can reduce inequalities. We reduce this difference or these stereotypes if we do it by playing with children. I have just here another image of parents playing with a girl with something that in another context they wouldn't play, because they are not like so they don't feel like comfortable, like really free of playing by that. And they express it to us. They said to us, this environment, it's like good because you can help us to understand why it is important for girls to play this kind of toys. And just like a final thing, we are working in a booklet that it's called Deconstruct Gender Stereotypes, that we will share with you soon in English and in French and in Spanish. And the thing that I want you to take home, to take this message at home, is that toy libraries are and may be the first link to leisure and culture. And this is an important thing, because it's our responsibility to discuss with children, to play with them and discuss and to understand what they can do and what they are capable of doing, but also to parents, and to say you can let them play and you can let them be, because by playing you will have different good benefits in the development of your child. That toy libraries have a pivotal role in communities. They allowed us to understand other cultures. What happened with this project in Mexico and Argentina, they understood that there were different points in common, and that they have great things to create together. They are toy libraries are also pivotal because they are a very satisfied place to be. It doesn't matter if they are old, if they are a baby. Everybody can stay in toy library and they can have a good time. And that the toy libraries are also tools adapted for everybody. It doesn't matter if you don't speak French, or if you just know how to say hola, you can play with others. Finally, toy libraries represent a great place to understand our communities and create global solutions in our problems. It's important to us to say you that remember to play and talk, and to say what can we do together, what can do for working together. I hope that this presentation can help you to maybe get inspired and to contact another toy libraries and say, well, what can we do? Maybe not in physical, because we are not in the next country, but or maybe we are not even in the same continent, but what can we do if we'll just connect by Zoom, by what we are doing now? Maybe just like sharing and participating could be a great solution. Thank you for attention, and I'm taking questions if you have questions. I have a message to say, hello, I am Annelise Cosioni with the Toy London Library of South Dakota. Okay, great. It's what? It's from United States. Oh, it's very nice. But you are from Brazil. Great. Thank you, Annelies.
I loved your presentation. Thank you so much for that. I think it's amazing what you guys have done together. And I love one of the things we are doing here. With a grant, I created toy boxes to showcase different countries and create inclusion. We are a city that receives a lot of immigrants and refugees. So we have people from all around the world, but there's a lot of disconnection, like people are not so integrated. And so we are doing our small piece here to try to connect people. And I gotta show you just 1 second.
Yeah, this is very important because now we are living different situations. Oh, great.
My box to talk about Mexico. My one from Brazil is not ready yet, but and I think it's so cool for families like to learn about different countries and to create, like, it goes a paper in that I was gonna say, like, if you see somebody that looks different, speaks different, go and ask them, where are you from? What's the food there? What's the music that you like? What games do you play? And those little questions might help create integration. So
yeah, I hope if you can go to the website and to download it and maybe to get inspired. And well, maybe something that we don't say frequently, but if you are inspired and you want to integrate some games to those, you can send me the information and we can integrate it and to make it more, to have more games.
I work with our collections for children 0 to 5 years old. And we have some toy boxes, like this one is gonna have, it's a loteria, but it's used that game Coco, just because like the normal loteria, it has, some things that are maybe not appropriate for little kids. So I found a different version that is based on the movie. Normally we don't use movies, but I love that idea. I love the idea of connecting families in different countries, and I learned so much with you today. And I'm gonna contact you, and so we can. I don't talk too much here.
Thank you, Monica. Sorry, but because it was very interesting this remark about the images in Loteria Mexicana. But did you play it with children, even with this? Because for those that doesn't know, Loteria Mexicana has a guy that it's like, how do you say, el borracho in English? It's
the drunk man.
The drunk man. So it's like, but I don't know if you played, Monica. Maybe you can tell us.
Yeah, we played it here in Mexico, but each character and each card has a story around the image. But yes, we do that. I would like to have a photo, if you let me, Annalise, with your box here, so I can take the capture, so we can put it here in Mexico. So this is, but we want to see your face. Just move it like a little. Yeah. There, let's see. Just talk, and so I can have your image. Talk, please, Annalise.
I think you have to speak.
Okay, sorry. So this is our toy box to showcase a little bit of Mexico.
Thank you. Yeah, I would like to have one question for Israel. Now that you said that that you sent a toy or a game to Mexico in a toy library, I would like to know which toy library has that game, so I can go and see it and maybe to look at it, or maybe we can have more for our toy library too. That's one thing. And I found the pictures, because when we made this project with Argentina and France, Israel and Stefan have the opportunity to come to Mexico. They came to Mexico and to meet the young people that were making all these 3 projects that you can have it too in our webpage. In Mexico Juega, that's our page, and you can have that too. And I have the photos right here. I don't know if it is pertinent and it's okay. You want to show the photos?
Yeah, if you can share it.
Get the young Mexican people, the young Mexican guys and girls, they gave them as a present French games. That's the prize. That was like a prize. But the prize here is to share. And I think this is the important message that Israel and with all the countries that they made all this project is that we can share. And that's what toy libraries do too. We can share any country we are. We can make it like this. We have maybe some Zooms and share our games, our toys, and so we can learn about the world because we cannot travel. So I have the photos here. I don't know if it is okay if you want to see them or we just let them to another time.
Yes, no, it could be a very good idea and very helpful. I didn't put them because I didn't have the images, but I think that there's no problem. We all
Daddy, can you
want
give permission to share? Let's see.
Yep, just
Oh, there you are. Let's
yeah,
see.
I'm here. Just give me 1 second.
I just wanted to add something that is very interesting is that Annelies, you are not Mexican and you are sharing Mexican games. That's the diversity of toy libraries, and that is very important to know.
I'm married to a Mexican.
Okay,
but I
nice.
do boxes. My other boxes, I have Russia, China, Japan, and Russia, China, Japan, Brazil, and Mexico. So those are the 5 ones that we started with the grant. So, but my husband is from Mexico, which is cool.
Oh,
Nice.
that's good. So you maybe speak a little of Spanish.
Yes, of course.
Okay, now there you go. Let's see if you are. Do you see my
Yes.
screen?
Yes, we can, Monica.
Okay, there
Yes.
are 3 members of the board of directors of Mexico, and there's Stefan and Israel. Here is our toy library in Mexico. There's another member too that she's making a diversity to come because she lives in Berlin now. Andrea, it's my daughter, and she lives in Berlin, and she is making that Mexico appears over there with a mobile toy library. So there's another, and these are the persons we were in pandemic. We were there. We couldn't. We have to use these, and this lady is Gabby Fontaine from the hospitals toy libraries here in Mexico, and part of the team of the young people here are from there, and others are from Mexico that we were that we choose. These are with Israel. These are the young men and ladies, and there are everybody. And here is Israel sharing the gifts. They were very happy. They were very happy to receive this because they are not games that we have here. And if we have it, they are very expensive. And this is one of the guys that, well, they are the kids. Well, the young, they are not kids, they are youngs. And well, that's our toy library in Mexico. Well, they are sharing here their experiences and what they learn. And that's the visit. I think that's all I have. I'm going to share it. I thought you have these pictures. I'm sorry. Well,
Yeah.
that's the diversity.
So something that I would like to add to that is that those people, they are tool librarians and they have developed a lot of things. So I think they are amazing. They are very. I follow them on Facebook and I have seen how they develop, and I think that it is a very good example of people that engage with the world and with their communities. So. And about your question, yeah, they haven't received it again, but it's Gabby that will receive it. It's she shared with us some videos and they are not ready, so that's why we didn't send it again. Well, yet, sorry, but they are here just to be sent because this project just finished.
The toy library where you give this game, which toy library is here in Mexico?
It will be the Rincon of the Ringo.
Oh, I see. Okay, I will ask Gabby then. Thank you.
Yeah, no, in fact, we didn't send it to them. They will receive it soon, but
okay, perfect.
When they will receive it, maybe you can go and see these games that are from Guatemala, another from Europe, another from Africa, and another from Asia.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
So maybe just a few messages from me. So Israel's doing an amazing job with the ITLA newsletter. So there'll be another one coming out soon. So if anybody's got anything to share with the world, please send Israel your news story. So if you want to share some photos of your boxes, Annalise, that'd be wonderful. Our next webinar is from Bojana from Bulgaria. So we're trying to sort of mix up, one's about sharing ideas about toy libraries and then sharing some practical learning ideas. And so the next one's going to be about marketing your toy library when you don't have a large amount of money to spend. So she's, social media and other ways that she's learned to market her toy library, which she started quite recently. And just a promotion for Israel's going to be presenting another webinar in April next year about how you can make your own board games for your toy library. So that'll be a really good hands-on session. Might be a bit longer, maybe, Israel. I think you said you needed a bit more time, perhaps, for that one. And we've got sessions planned out until April, but if anybody else has things that they would like to share or they would like to present a webinar on, you can either email me or just email info, the ITLA email address, and we will add you onto the list for 2024, because it's so lovely to see so many of you here sharing your learnings and your successes with each other. So thank you so much, Israel, for sharing with us, and Monica, Virginia, and everybody else who participated in the project as well.
Yeah, I just would like to add, yes, as Debbie said, if you have information to share, this is very important for us, because that's the way we can know about the others, about what they are doing. And I think Dominique, for example, that is doing also a great job, like going to different toy libraries, and she sent us a text that will appear to the next toy library. So don't miss the opportunity to share what you are doing, because everything that you are doing is amazing. And finally, for the next presentation that will be in April, is that right, Debbie? It will be more about gender stereotypes.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Yeah, because we, as I said, we developed a project that it's the pink construction site, and we made a booklet that we hope that we will have ready in English, and those are recommendations about how to improve this equality between sex. Great.
Has anybody else anything else they'd like to share?
Well, about that gender webinar, Mexico Juega has a booklet too. It's in Spanish, so sorry, about toys and gender. So you can find it too in